Continuing our reading in Ereth's Birthday by Avi, today are two short chapters, Chapter 11, Marty the Fisher, and Chapter 12, The Other Den. Chapter 11, Marty the Fisher. In the field below the bluff sat Marty the Fisher, up to his neck in snow. The skies had cleared, the moon was full, the air was still. Not a sound could be heard. The world glowed with a serene whiteness. Not that Marty the Fisher cared or even noticed any of that. He was angry at himself for allowing Ereth to get away. His strategy, once he realized that the porcupine was heading toward the far side of the field, was to trap the prickly creature against the wall of earth. He was quite sure this would work. But to Marty's great puzzlement, Ereth had simply vanished. It was as if he had been swallowed up by the bluff itself. Perhaps, he thought, he's found an old badger den or a cave. Maybe he's holding up till morning, sleeping. Should I wait? He asked himself. Should I come back tomorrow? Should I forget all about this annoying Ereth? How irritating that he should get away from me. No, Marty decided. I'll wait a bit until the moon's shadow goes from over there to over here. He was still studying the scene when he saw three young foxes burst out of the bluff, followed momentarily by the porcupine. Not good, Marty said to himself with a frown. I can deal with the porcupine, but not if those foxes are with him. They look young, but the four of them together will be too much to handle. Even so, Marty told himself to be patient. Porcupines and foxes do not mix, he reminded himself. Sooner or later, Ereth will be alone again. From a safe distance, Marty watched to see where the quartet was going. Chapter 12, The Other Den. It was Nimble who led the way to the other den. Tumble and Flip followed on her heels. Last to come was Ereth. He could see right away why the foxes had been named the way they were. Each one of them moved through the snow in short, frolicking jumps. So energetic were they sometimes landed on one another's backs or collided. Ereth, who could do nothing but plod stoutly after them, kept crying, Slow down! Wait for me! He was terribly nervous. What if one of the kits put a foot into a trap? What if he did? But whenever the weary Ereth caught up to them, the kits were off again, leaving the porcupine to mumble disparagingly about foxes and the world in general. Though the second den was only some 20 yards from the one he had first entered, Ereth never would have found it on his own. In fact, when he finally caught up with the kits, they were hastily scraping back the snow from between two large boulders. Only when the snow was removed was a small hole revealed, smaller than the one that led into the other den. Is this it? Ereth demanded, panting from exertion. Yeah, it's what we told you about, Flip answered him. Are there others? Ereth asked, eyeing the narrow entryway. I don't know, Tumble said. Without another word, he scurried down the hole. Nimble followed. Are you coming? Flip asked. I'll try, Ereth replied. I'd like you to, the young fox said shyly before he darted down the hole. Oh, monkey mummins, Ereth grumbled as he braced himself to follow. No sooner was he inside the tunnel than he felt himself squeezed from all sides. Grunting and groaning, scraping and pushing at the dirt, he found it hard to breathe. Are you still coming? He heard one of the foxes call. Of course I am, Ereth shouted. Hurry up, there's food down here. Ereth continued to kick and pull, gradually working his way forward. Suddenly, Flip appeared in his face. Need some help? He asked. Buzz off, you bowl of burrito barf, he cried. I never need help, never. Sorry, Flip said quickly and retreated, leaving Ereth to struggle. 20 minutes later, the exhausted porcupine squeezed into the den, bringing with him a shower of pebbles and dirt. The three foxes were on their bellies, holding bones in their paws and gnawing at them. Nimble looked up. What took you so long? She asked. Ereth only said, "Oh, did you find something to eat?" "A lot," Tumble enthused with his mouth full. "A really great half-eaten rabbit. Would you like some?" Flip offered. "No," roared Ereth. Though famished, he could only think about sleep. He looked around the new den. Slightly smaller than the first, it was the same messy, nasty-smelling kind of place. Without a word, the porcupine moved as far from the foxes as possible, then lay down. "I'm going to sleep," he announced. And I just want you to know, this is the worst birthday of my life." "What's a birthday?" Flip asked his sister in a low voice. "It's the day you were born," Nimble explained. "Oh, wow. Does that mean Mr. Doormat was just born today?" "No way," Tumble said. "He's got to be ancient." Ereth closed his eyes, curled up, and tried to act as if he were already asleep. "Really? How old do you think he is?" Flip asked in a whisper. "From the way he's acting," Tumble asserted with great authority, "I'd say 200 years old, at least." "Does that mean he'll die soon?" "Probably." "Shut up!" Ereth screamed. For a moment there was silence. "Sir?" Flip said in a small voice. "Mr. Parrish." Ereth sighed. "I'm sleeping," he said. "Oh." A few quiet moments passed. Just as Ereth felt himself drifting off, he felt a nudge. He opened his eyes. The 3 foxes were standing next to him. What is it?" Ereth asked numbly. Nimble said, "Mr. Earwig, when we sleep at night, Mom lets us snuggle up close to her. She even wraps her tail about us. It keeps us very warm."
Chewed over cow cuds,"
Ereth mumbled.
"Will this day never end?"
"What should we do?" Tumble asked.
Have you even looked at my tail?"
Ereth snapped. "What about it?"
It's full of quills."
"Are you completely covered with quills?" Flip asked. Ereth hesitated.
"No,"
he admitted. Well, where aren't you?" Tumble demanded.
"My belly."
"Can we snuggle there?" Nimble asked.
"No,"
Ereth roared. "But we can't sleep," Tumble said after a moment. "Our mother—"
"I am not your mother,"
Ereth shouted, turning his back to the foxes.
"I'm a porcupine who wants to be left alone. Beat it."
The foxes stared at him for a while. Then Flip turned and, with head bent low, trotted off to the furthest side of the den. Sighing, he flung himself down with his back to Ereth and curled up in a ball. After a moment, the other 2 followed their brother. In moments, they were rolled up together like a flower bud. Despite his exhaustion, Ereth could not sleep. He kept thinking of all that had happened this day.
So help me,"
he muttered.
"This'll be the last birthday I ever celebrate."
He began to drift off, only to hear a sound. A long, sad sigh. He tried to ignore it, but more sighs followed. The foxes were whimpering.
Barbecued bear beards,"
Ereth swore to himself. Heaving himself up, he waddled over to where the foxes lay.
"Move over, you piebald pooper snoopers."
He flung himself down and tried to flatten his quills as much as possible. Then he rolled over, exposing his soft, plump belly. Within moments, he could feel first Flip, then Nimble, and after a pause, Tumble, push up against him, uttering sleepy sighs of comfort. As he lay there, the old porcupine's mind drifted to visions of his own snug private log. He thought of Poppy and Rye's children. Those children were a nuisance, too, constantly talking, asking him needless questions.
"But,"
he thought wistfully,
"I never had to be in charge of them, and at the end of the day, they always went away. Baked birthday boozers."
Ereth managed to say before he succumbed to a deep and needed sleep.
"I'm trapped. Completely, utterly, miserably trapped."
And that's the end of chapter 12.